Hey everybody. My dream has finally come true to have two outstanding guests together on the show at the same time. And I feel very fortunate today to have that opportunity. These two beautiful women telling us about how we should know about our worth. They wrote a book, so that's what we're going to talk about today. It's called Civility Wins. But first, let's introduce the audience, the guest to the audience. Kristen, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me, Francesca. My name is Kristen Goss, and I am the managing partner of KWG Family Legal and Mediation Services. I am a divorce attorney, and I help families day in and day out in the South Florida area who want to peacefully resolve their family legal issues outside of court.
Ah, yes, we all want peace. What an incredible occupation and service you offer, Kristen. Thank you. And Sandy, please introduce yourself to the audience.
So I am Sandy Boisrond. I am the managing attorney of Spectrum Law Florida, where we provide comprehensive estate planning to families throughout the state. And we focus on your legacy by creating your plan.
Wow, two amazing, amazing professions, my friends. So let's lean into this book. Kristen, I'm going to go to you first if you're okay. Tell me a little bit about it and how, the idea sparked in your mind to bring this book forward.
Awesome. Yes, that's a great question, Francesca. So the title is Civility Wins, Find Your Peace While Taming the Beasts. And it started out of a labor of love. Sandy and I actually went to the same undergrad, which is the University of Miami in Coral Gables, and the same law school, Thomas M. Cooley in Lansing, Michigan. Well, I went to the Lansing campus. I believe Sandy was Ann Arbor, if I'm not mistaken, but
Auburn
different
Hills.
times. My apologies, Auburn Hills, but different times, and we met at an alumni event. But it started out of a labor of love. We wanting to help people, and in the legal industry, you come across all kinds of personalities, and some good, some not so good, and we had our venting sessions in a nutshell. That's how it came about, talking about professionalism, ethics, confidence, no matter what, maintaining civility, regardless of what's thrown at you.
Wow, that's a lot. It is a lot to think about for sure. So, Sandy, explain to us then it's not just for attorneys, right? It's not just for people who do the work that both of you do. How can someone who's not an attorney benefit from reading this book, Civility Wins?
Well, the beauty is in understanding that the badge of an attorney or a judge or anybody in the legal profession is really just a cover, right? Underneath that badge is an individual. And with individuality comes the nuances of, poor behaviors, certain types of interactions and things like that. And so when we initially wrote this book, we were going to call it Civility Lives, but we started to realize some of the interactions that we had, it was about civility at the end, always winning. So for us, this was a concept that any person can apply, no matter the profession. And we had a person give us a review that is nowhere near the legal profession. And it was just a testament to, okay, this makes sense for people generally speaking. So it's definitely a book for anybody because we focus on different affirmations of sorts or quotes that people can kind of follow as their principles.
I love that. So let's lead that to the next question. Can someone share what one of the affirmations is and how we could live through that?
Ooh, I am
I'm
more.
more
Oh,
than, oh, we're thinking just alike. Go ahead, Sandy.
I can't believe we came up with the same one. I am more than capable. This is something that we both, I would say, battle with during the early years of practice. And I want to say it's one of the first ones that we came up with. I want to say it's early on in the book, I am more than capable, because it's a battle of confidence. It's a battle of, questioning your ability, and wondering if you're capable because of the challenges that you face with others, and sometimes these very toxic behaviors, and very adversarial nature that you see people with. But, I'll throw it to Kristen because I'm sure that she came up with the same thing as I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
so I would say this, ego is definitely something that is a killer in
Mm.
any industry. Humbleness is something that I pride myself on, and I think that you can go a long way being humble. And it doesn't mean that you're not confident, it doesn't mean that you're not assertive, but there's a way to present yourself uh, so that not only you are confident in who you are, but you're also is illuming that or exuding that to others, and they are in turn drawn to you.
Mm. So important. And ladies, I'll share this, and I may have mentioned it on a previous show, like ego, where I've learned to try and manage it, if you will, is in the yoga studio. We have this saying to check your ego
Hmm.
at the door.
Yep.
Check it at the door, because what does that do? Because we'll sit there and we'll compare ourselves to what the next person's doing. And what we have to do is focus on ourselves. And we shouldn't even compare ourselves to ourselves, just accept the moment and where we are, right? So ego infiltrates every single iota of our being. And I love that you approach it in your book, because it is truly important not to overthink ourselves, right? And think
Hmm.
bigger than ourselves. So this is an important lesson for sure that you offer. Let's lean into another one. These are so good.
Another quote.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Affirmation.
That affirmation. Know your worth.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. Let's lean into that. Where do you think that comes from? Our lack of worth. Is that a childhood thing? Is that just something is it a learned behavior? How do we think we're not worthy?
I think it's a combination. For me personally, you grow up and you are taught to mind your business, mind your manners, say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And that's good. But I think that oftentimes what's gifted inside of you can be hushed.
Mm,
And it's a continual battle and a growth for me to learn boundaries, learn when to say something, when not to say something. And you like trying to understand why I'm not saying something, right?
yeah,
Am I not saying something because I don't want to destroy the waves, if that makes sense?
sure.
Or am I not saying something because I want to maintain the peace and be civil and maintain civility?
I love that. Finding your voice. How about you, Sandy? What do you feel? What's your definition of knowing your worth?
I would say a lot of it comes from familiarity or lack thereof. Many times when we come into, a profession or an industry or into a new practice of sorts, we feel like we're not capable in some way, shape, or form. And so that unfortunately puts us in position where someone may disrespect us or address us in a way that is definitely unprofessional and not in a tone that we would normally tolerate. But because we feel like we're on like the lower end of the totem pole somehow, we kind of take those things. But I know for both Kristen and I, we had a number of situations that would happen to us. And we're like, oh no, I don't care what you think this is, but the fact that you are in the profession longer than me or are more specialized or have more money or resources, that doesn't eliminate my voice. And so many times we would have to kind of console each other through processes and just say, no, we're not going to tolerate that. And it doesn't matter whether it's another attorney, it doesn't matter whether it's a client or a judge or a leader in some way, shape, or form. There's certain things that we do not tolerate, right? Respectfully speaking, but at
Yes.
the same token, knowing that we are more than capable, knowing that we went to law school too, we passed the bar, we have our own practices, we are capable to do this work. And so we're not going to allow certain voices and behaviors and toxic behaviors to kind of push us to the side as if we are not worthy. So that was a very like a fundamental piece of this whole book and the conversations that we had.
That is so powerful. One of the things that you mentioned, what I love is finding your tribe, finding someone who you can call and the support that you've found with each other. I think if there's anyone out there, struggling with, let's call them imposter syndrome symptoms, if you will,
Mhm.
like it's always good to find someone who you can support with. And what's beautiful is both of you said, we're gonna make something great of this, and we're gonna author a book.
Right.
So that's so impressive to me, to show that, okay, we're dealing with this and we want to help others through it too, which I think is so impressive that you've done that for sure. So if there's one thing you would want them to walk away with in listening to this interview, what can we share? Kristen, I'll ask you for one thing, and then Sandy, I'll ask you for one as well.
I would say it's all in the title. Civility always wins, regardless.
Awesome. Beautiful. How about you, Sandy? What would you like to add to, our discussion today about knowing yourself and finding your voice and protecting who you are, against all of the little geeks out there that don't see us for who we are?
I would say our piece. I mean, the title says everything that we wanted to come out of this project. It's your piece that is at the forefront, no matter what the circumstance, situation, whatever it is that's presented. If you can't find peace in that situation, then there has to be a pushback from whatever it is that's going on. And you don't have to stoop to whatever it is that's being presented to you in order to accomplish that peace, right? You can find ways to maneuver those situations and still be peaceful, be mindful, be connected to yourself, and not lose yourself in these moments that are always going to happen in our lives.
Mm.
Well, I think I just got the chills. And you also brought up something that I learned when I was working with a self-defense coach, and he would always say, don't let anybody touch your piece. Because I would go in there thinking I could punch away the
Yes.
nerve-wracking day, right?
Yeah,
And he'd stop and he'd say, don't let anybody touch your piece. And you so eloquently said that, Sandy, because it is so important to us maintaining ourselves so that we can manage what's going on externally. I love that so much.
Absolutely.
So I always have magical questions that I'd like to ask at the end. Kristen, um, do you have a favorite piece of clothing or accessory that you cherish, and how does it make you feel? What a great smile. I love that.
you're really going to laugh at this, but I don't know why. I think I do actually. We go back from kindergarten years. Winnie the Pooh. Anything and all things Winnie the Pooh makes me feel comforted. So a pajama set, for example, with Winnie the Pooh on it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's fabulous. Right? You found that? You're not letting it go? Don't. I love it. It's beautiful. How about you, Sandy? Do you have something special, like favorite piece of clothing or accessory, and how does it make you feel?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I'd say that my new obsession is getting my nails done in very jazzy colors. So lately I've been on this, everything has to be a little bit bright, a little bit jazzy, because I think sometimes we forget self-care. And so that is just my constant reminder of, oh, okay, I'm going to do a little something different this week. I'm going to try a different color. And every time I go to the salon now, I have to get something completely, different from the last time. Even if if I'm forced to, I'll go to the previous color, but nail color is my new thing right now.
I love that. I love that because, when I look for something like a clothing top, like I wear navy and black a lot because I try to find a color. And if I can't, you're right. We can express our personalities on our fingernails. And what a great
Yes.
way to start a conversation, right? So you could be in the Starbucks line, or you could be like, and someone could compliment you on those, and you could have an entire conversation about nails and self-care. But I love that because self-care it's one of the keys to happiness, right? And having us feel good about what we do and the steps that we take in our lives. But Kristen, if someone wanted to continue the conversation with you, where's the best place for them to find you?
Absolutely. You could look me up on my website. It's www.kwglaw.net.
Excellent. I will put that link in the show notes. And Sandy, my friend, how about you? Where's the best place for people to find you and look you up?
So my website is up and ready, www.spectrumlawflorida.com.
All right, beautiful. I will put both of those links in the show notes. This has been revolutionary for me. We got some great information out there. I'll also put a link to your book so people can buy that and access it and learn from your incredible knowledge and how we can be better to ourselves and better to other people. So thank you both, ladies, for your time today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know I did.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.